almost 2009. I can't do my math, so I'm going to say 17 or 18 years now, almost.
15.
And they still won't let this man rest in peace. We're going to give you some latest updates on Michael Jackson. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. We're so glad that you're here. Thank you for tuning in on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. We'll be back.
More of Truth Be Told with DT&Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation!
And all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jamming with Juice each and every day on 1017 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 1017 The Truth.
There are individuals in our community who certainly need health services, a variety of health services. What if they do not have health insurance? How can you serve that population?
Our community health center allows patients to come to our clinic regardless of their ability to pay, and that's part of our federal funding. You can come to our clinic and be seen based on what we call a poverty level. So anyone 200% or below a poverty level can be seen in our clinic for anywhere from $20 to $40 for that visit. So in other words, if your visit is a $400 visit and you fall on our sliding scale where you pay $20 for your visit, you would not be responsible for the $400. You'd only be responsible for $20 for that visit. Also, our pharmacy prescriptions are very, very affordable as well. Where you would normally pay, let's say for an inhaler, $240 a month for an inhaler, at our facility that would cost you about $4 or $5.
It's very good to know you guys have a sliding scale that makes it very, very affordable.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On Diversity and Excellence powered by Erie Insurance, I am so excited to talk about the different ways that Erie Insurance can help with our community growth, can provide job opportunities from Erie Insurance Corporate, or with our local agency force. I'm really excited about the education of generational wealth in our Black and Brown communities and how we are a part of the communities here locally. There's so much more we can be a part of. Listen to me, Fred Johnson, on Diversity and Excellence, powered by Erie Insurance.
Come escape to Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy stunning lakeside views, on-site golf, award-winning spa, and numerous dining options, including 1878 on the lake. Dive into the pools, explore water sports, or relax by the lakeside fire pits. Experience Lake Lawn Resort's newly renovated guest rooms, part of a multi-million-dollar upgrade for ultimate comfort and luxury. Whether it's a romantic getaway, family vacation, or corporate retreat, Lake Lawn Resort has it all. Book your stay at Lake Lawn Resort today and discover the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation.
It is Truth Be Told with DT&Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Good morning. It is Monday, July 1st. Thank you so much for starting your week off here. Truth Be Told with DT&Telly, the best morning show on planet Earth. Telly and I, right now, are going to give you the grown folks recap of the BET Awards that took place last night. And see, Telly, I have to preface that because, again, I know about 2 or 3% of the artists that performed last night. And then I'll round it up to 5%. Because I do know Usher. So the BET Awards took place last night in Los Angeles, California. And they were hosted by Taraji P. Henson, who I thought did a great job. So I got to pull a disclaimer like you, Telly. I watched what I could watch in terms of who I knew. But again, the vast majority of the artists, I I'm getting old, Telly. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I saw two things, and I know we're going to get into one of them in a second, but I saw the Sexy Red performance, and I still think that is just one of the guilty pleasures. DT, she is so ratchet, but I love that song, though.
What song is
she
that,
hood
Telly?
is I don't know what. Everybody knows it. She be like, get it sexy, get it sexy.
No, I'm teasing.
Man. She
Because
performed
that's the
it last
song
night.
that I played on my birthday. Hey, do it till you're satisfied. I'm like, if you like it, I love it. Hey, do it. If you like Sexy Red, that's for you.
Yeah.
Now, during last night's BET Awards, again at Peacock Theater in Los Angeles, California, again, it was hosted by Taraji P. Henson. Megan Thee Stallion performed, and Glorilla joined her on the stage. Now, I want to get into a special performance that when I saw this, I was like, oh, wow. So Will Smith, he's been doing a lot of like rapping lately. You know, he's getting back to his original platform, and he made, I thought was a very empowering, I wouldn't say empowering, I would say just it was a powerful performance. He's got a new single out. It's called You Can Make It, which features a guest appearance by gospel icon Kirk Franklin, and as well as, which is one of my favorite gospel groups of all time, the Sunday Service Choir. Did you catch the performance?
I did catch the performance, and I really didn't know what was going on until the end. And when I saw it was Will, and when he was talking, I think it's cool. I don't know if we have to check with Stephen A. Smith to see if we have accepted Will Smith back into the black community. But if we get okay with him, I think last night solidified that Will Smith is not only back, he'll mess around and be getting an Oscar sooner than later. I mean, some of the things that he's probably going to unleash now. We don't know if we have even seen the best of Will Smith yet. So I thought it was really cool. But one thing I did want to, I don't know if you caught this, DT, but the conversation between Taraji P. Henson and Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, did you see that?
I did. Well, let's do this. Let's hear some audio from the Will Smith performance, and then we'll get into the Taraji P. And now, here's the thing. This is what you're going to hear is Will Smith performing a song that he just released Friday. And so he performed it for the first time live during the BET Awards, which aired live yesterday. The title of the song is You Can Make It. Now, when you hear this soundbite, and first of all, the stage decor for this performance I thought was incredible. There were a lot of people, though, on social media that said it looked very demonic, and how is this a gospel song and you've got the stage looking like hell? And I was like, that's exactly what he's saying. He's saying that the past few years have been a living hell for me. However, through some of my darkest moments, music has always been there to lift me up and help me grow. And I'm reading a quote that Will Smith wrote on an Instagram post, and he says, through some of my darkest moments, music has always been there for me to lift me and help me grow. It's my humble wish that it can do the same for you and bring you all the joy and light you deserve. So let's check out this soundbite from Will Smith's, I guess I want to say, don't call it a comeback, performance featuring Kirk Franklin, the song You Can Make It from the BET Awards last night in LA.
Of healing, if God is for real, you just wonder if he'll listen. So many tests for the flesh, exhausted, gasping to catch your breath. Walking through the valley of the shadow of death. When you think you got nothing left, keep going. Don't give up on me, I need you to hold on. Know you're deep up in the storm, but I know you can face it.
And then all of a sudden, on the show last night, Telly, GP, are you with me? Kirk Franklin came out. I was like, is Kirk Franklin the only
special guest?
Zakaya at? Where's Todd Tribbett? Where is Donnie McClure? Is Kirk Franklin our sole gospel artist that makes special appearances on hip hop records? I'm being for real. I'm like, Kirk Franklin be on everybody's record.
Marvin Winans, BB, CeCe,
Man.
I mean, Kirk.
And Marvin Winans lives in L.A. He's like right there.
Come on, man.
I should say Marvin Winans Jr. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
we come back.
I don't know. Mm-hmm.
No. Seriously, Telly. We're going to come back and we're going to finish this conversation. Also, to Telly's earlier point, we come back. If you missed it, during the BET Awards last night, Taraji P. Henson and Vice President Kamala Harris had a conversation. And during the conversation, you're going to hear all of it, but in particular, Vice President Harris told BET, I'm out here in these streets. When we come back, we're going to hear that. We're going to talk more about the BET Awards. Boy, talk about code switching. When we come back, we're going to talk about that and more hot topics. Our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. We'll be back.
More of Truth Be Told with DT&Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
Have you ever heard of the saying, health is wealth? Or eat your food as medicine before you have to take your medicine like it's food? Well, I'm maturing in age and I'm starting to realize what it means to truly value my health. Lately, I've been paying attention to what I'm putting in my body by making changes to my diet and adding exercise to my daily routine. Look, I love to eat, and I have not always been conscious of reading the labels. My motto used to be, if it tastes good, it's all good. Now my motto is eat better, get stronger, and live longer. The truth is, it's important to make positive adjustments that will increase your health long term. I might not be a guru on nutrition, but I do know you are what you eat. And even if you decide to eat better, you still have to watch out for processed foods, PFAs, GMOs, and other man-made chemicals that could negatively impact your health. So remember to detox your body as often as you can. There are many ways to go about this, so do your research and check with your doctor if you have pre-existing conditions. At the end of the day, it's your life, your health, and we have to make sure we're taking time to do the proper maintenance on ourselves. Also, make sure you choose a diet and exercise routine that works for you. I'm excited about this new journey that I'm on to properly take care of my body, and I hope I can encourage you to get excited about your health as well. Eat better, get stronger, live longer. Now start eating powerful.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
We're looking pretty good. Westbound 894, a little bit backed up out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68 through the construction zone there. Westbound 94 slowing down from about 35th Street into the Stadium interchange. Otherwise, everything else looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny with a high of 71. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 62. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, violence is a problem that affects us all, together we can make a difference. The award-winning 1017 The Truth wants to ignite positive change and bring awareness to the seriousness violence occurring in our community. This is why we are hosting our second annual Truth Walk Against Violence, led by Tori Lowe, on Saturday, July 20th, from Victory Over Violence Park down MLK Drive right to our studio at the 3rd Street Market Hall. Over the next month, Tori Lowe will be speaking with community leaders about how we can better provide resources and work as a community to rise up against violence. If you want to join the fight to stop violence, go to 1017thetruth.com right now to sign up for our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 20th.
And Truth Nation, be sure to tune in to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes today at 10 a.m. as he will be joined by U.S. Representative from South Carolina, Jim Clyburn, live in the studio. Representative Clyburn will discuss President Biden's debate performance, his thoughts on what former President Donald Trump meant by black jobs, and discuss what the Biden administration has done for the black community. Again, that is U.S. Representative Jim Clyburn live in the studio on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes at 10 a.m. today on the award-winning 1017 The Truth Milwaukee Black Talk. You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth, and we're going to also get into Telly, how we both feel about former President Donald Trump's black jobs reference. If you missed it, we're going to play the soundbite and then we'll get into that. But before, speaking of our U.S. government, speaking of the upcoming election, during the BET Awards that took place live in Los Angeles, California at the Peacock Theater, the awards were hosted by Taraji P. Henson, our beloved sister Taraji. And as always, you gotta love politicians. They strategically choreographed a FaceTime chat, they being the BET Awards. They choreographed what's supposed to be an authentic conversation between Taraji P. Henson and Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. If you missed it, here's the audio. Check this out.
Freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
No, they not.
There's a full-on attack on our fundamental freedoms. The freedom to vote.
Yeah. Or basic freedom.
DT, that was worse than when they put them black pictures in OJ house before his trial.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, girl, we out here in these streets. Shoot, girl. Hey. They not like us. What?
Because we know that's exactly how she talks to Joe Biden. Joe, you know I'm out here in these streets, Joe, huh?
And see, the thing about it is, Telly,
oh man,
you can't make this up. You can't make this up.
So bad. That was so bad.
So
like,
let me ask a question.
Did she get some street cred when did you feel like she got some street cred after that conversation?
Let me ask you this, Telly. And Truth Nation, I'm asking you too. Our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. Is it okay? So if Madam Vice President Kamala Harris was a white woman and said that, it would have been all kind of controversy. It would have been reactions like, who did you're the vice president of the United States of America, and I'm just trying to understand. Again, Telly, help me out. Truth Nation, help me out. I understand code switching, but the vice president of the United States, did you need to speak like that in order to connect with black voters? I'm asking genuinely, Telly, starting with you. Did that connect with black voters? Because I know the Democratic Party right now, the data has shown that traditional black voters who have traditionally over the past 10 presidential elections, if not more, have typically voted Democrat. And during this presidential election, the polls are showing that a significant number of black voters are saying either I'm going to vote for Trump, I don't know who I'm voting for, or I'm going to vote for Cornel West, or not at all, unfortunately. Yeah. So was that moment that we just played between Madam Vice President Kamala Harris and the BET Awards host Taraji P. Henson, was that a demonstration of connecting to black voters?
I think great plan, poor execution.
Didn't somebody tell you this was an all-white party?
To plan to make sure that we heard from our vice president during the BET Awards. It's smart. I mean, like you said, politics are going to always find a way to intersect with anything they can go mainstream. And, but the execution of the plan was terrible. I felt like, that's why I was laughing so hard. I wasn't acting. That was comical. Why do you feel like you have to speak a certain way? And again, to me, that's just another insult, thrown at my intelligence. You don't have to do that. You don't. Just say what you need to say and what you feel like. Because people wanted to know, look, how could we still support our current president who's trying to get reelected after that debate? People wanted to hear about that and say, hey, give me something to rejuvenate or restore my faith in the Democratic Party after that debacle of a debate. And so you get on there talking about you in these streets. What streets are you in? Stop. Like, come on, man. So again, I felt like it definitely missed the mark. And it went from an opportunity to really get a message out there to providing a little comedy relief, in my opinion. Because you don't remember anything
on our YouTube.
Said. Do you remember anything else she said?
I'm still processing they not like us. I'm still processing that. August on our YouTube message board says, referring to Madam Vice President's comments during the BET Awards last night, she was cringe.
It was very cringy. Very cringy.
And, let's this is a perfect segue into the most recent reactions to former President Donald Trump's comments during Thursday's presidential debate between current President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. And when asked by the moderators about immigration, former President Donald Trump said that you've got an existing president who's letting all of these immigrants into the country illegally, and they're taking black jobs, they're taking Hispanic jobs. And the majority of black America, based on what I saw coming in my feeds on the internet, as well as the Democratic National Party, were promoting this as, you see Donald Trump, you see what he said. What do you mean by black jobs? So when we come back from break, my reaction, I will share, Telly. I want to definitely hear what your reaction was when you first heard former President Trump describe or respond to jobs in this country being black and Hispanic, as well as your reaction to how Black America is responding. So we come back from break. We're going to get into that. Yeah. And if you missed the comment, we're going to play it for you first. Again, the Black Jobs comment that former President Donald Trump made during Thursday's presidential debate between he and current President Joe Biden. Other hot topics as well. You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told with DT&Telly. We will be back.
More of Truth Be Told with DT&Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Thank you, Truth Nation. Because of your passion, love, and support, The Truth is now a 10-time First Place Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Award winner.
That's what we used to always say. But like, look, they'll drop us off. They're look.
Ransom. Oh, you want how much for Lil Ray Ray? I tell you what.
But like, you know what? Keep them.
We do this all for you, Milwaukee. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
This is State Representative Lakeisha Myers letting you know there's a special election on July 2nd for the 4th Senate District. Having served for the past 6 years, I'm prepared to take office on day one to continue fighting for our community. Whether advocating for quality health care, better educational outcomes for children, or holding reckless drivers accountable, I'm ready to go to work. So Milwaukee, Shorewood, Glendale, Brown Deer, and Wauwatosa, I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, July 2nd. Let's go to work.
Paid for by friends of Lakeisha Myers, Gertha Myers Treasurer.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know whether it's a new home or a new car. You've worked hard to achieve your dreams, and we work hard to protect them so you can enjoy the utmost peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's Summerfest. Milwaukee, are you ready? 600 artists, 3 unforgettable weekends, 1 epic lakefront. Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. Find tickets, lineup, and more at summerfest.com.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Brewers offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
It is Truth Be Told with DT&Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Good morning. It is July 1st. Monday, July 1st, 2024. This is Truth Be Told with DT&Telly. Telly? Can't make this up. Now, during Thursday's presidential debate, which was broadcasted and hosted by Media Network, 24/7, 365, News Media Network, CNN. And during the presidential debate, there was a question presented by one of the moderators asking about immigration. And in former President Donald Trump's response, he makes a comment about how existing immigrants under President Joe Biden's administration are coming into this country illegally and taking black jobs, as well as taking Hispanic jobs. If you have not seen or heard this part yet, or if you want to hear it again, check this out from NBC News coverage of the presidential debate last Thursday. Here we go.
As sure as you're sitting there, the fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Now, Telly, the most current available data does not indicate that immigrants are filling roles that would otherwise go to American citizens. And I think the biggest controversy in the black community, in terms of what I saw from responses, including Derek Johnson, who's the CEO of the NAACP, Governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, who was actually here in Wisconsin campaigning for President Joe Biden, speaking about, there's no such thing as a black job or a white job. Now, first, let's get into your reaction, Telly. When you heard former President Donald Trump say in the debate Thursday about the role immigrants play in the U.S. economy by stating, quote, they're taking the black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs. What was your reaction to that?
I'm going to be real. That was one of the ones I caught in the highlights or the cliff notes of the debate, because by that time in his speech, I'm sure he was on lie number 72, and I just couldn't get rid of. 20 million people coming through the border. Like, let's be real. It's a border issue, but not only that, but what are black jobs? I'm still trying to figure out where those exist, because anytime I've applied for a job, I wasn't just competing against other black people. So what are black jobs? I think that in that opportunity as a moderator, that could have been a really good follow-up question for him to explain what black jobs are and what he truly means by that. Does he mean that the jobs that aren't at the highest levels are those black jobs? Or are there only black jobs that exist where you're the worker and not the employer? So, look, I didn't, have this overreaction, because that ain't the craziest thing he said even that night. But again, I'm still trying to figure out, where do you go apply for these black jobs?
Here's the thing. When I first heard him say that, my immediate reaction was, here we go again. And, former President Donald Trump has been consistent with who he is. And, for us as black folks, for a lot of us to respond, can't believe he said that. What's a black job? President Trump has been, he literally, when they leaked the audio of him having a conversation during an interview with Billy Bush, and, he said, you can grab a woman by her, her genital. Women still voted. Obviously, women still voted for him to be elected as president. And former President Donald Trump has made numerous, what would be regarded or felt as insensitive, politically incorrect comments about race. He's been consistent, and yet he continues to have a significant following, including a number of black voters, black people that support him 100%. From an agenda standpoint, when the Democratic Party over the weekend attempted to leverage this statement as a way to say, look, see black people, don't vote for him, I don't think that doing that really helped gain black voters, Telly. Because in the past 10 years almost, again, Former President Donald Trump has shown us, black people, Hispanic people, the entire country, the entire world, who he is. Now, going back to the comment, for me, it was the delivery, because if he would have said something to the effect of, according to data from this source, the hospitality industry was impacted disproportionately during the pandemic. Black employees at the time made up 20% of the hospitality industry workforce. In 2021, under President Biden's administration, it dropped to 13.6%. Black workers overall have not been able to retain their jobs due to, anything like that would have sounded much better. And I think his intent, and again, I emphasize I think his intention, along with his campaign party, was trying to convey that black voters under Biden's administration, because of immigration laws or loose restrictions from the Republican Party's lens, you now have a group of people that are taking jobs that traditionally were predominantly black or Hispanic, and that is, i.e., the hospitality industry or the service industry, i.e., restaurants, i.e., retail, hotel, conventions, etc. And there are a number of black and brown people that work in hospitality that rely on those jobs. He didn't say it like that. And there was an opportunity to where he could have said, I think it was his delivery and not the format. So Truth Nation, our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. Did you find former President Donald Trump's reference to jobs for black and brown people in this country as black jobs or Hispanic jobs? Were you offended? And again, quite frankly, Telly, I don't see black voters that are on the sway or kind of undecided right now. I don't see that as a strategic opportunity to think that black voters who are like, I don't know, that wasn't it. Because, again, Trump has been who he is from day one.
Yes, he has.
Period.
He has. We got Eastside Corey on the line. Eastside Corey, good morning. Welcome to Truth Be Told with DT&Telly. What's your question or comment?
Hey, it's great to talk. Good morning. It's great to talk to you on a Monday after such a tumultuous week last week. My goodness. There was enough racism to go around for everybody, okay? There's a certain level that we just sort of tolerate. We just kind of know it. You know what I'm saying? And the way Trump said it, I know what he meant, but the way he said it was cringe because it sounded like a subtle racist, okay? Like all the low-paying jobs, all them jobs over there, that's what he meant, It's like, okay, not every black person I know is, just only working in those fields or whatever. So, but the thing that really threw me was that the Democratic Party just completely ignored the fact that Camilla was the vice president. And is she really black? It was like they just tossed her aside as if they have to deal with Biden, that's what her job is supposed to be, right? How did they just ignore her for like 2 days, like she doesn't even exist? How easy it was for the pundits to just pretend that we don't have a so-called black vice president, waiting to pick up the slack where Biden is leaving off. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Thank you.
Eastside Corey, before we let you go, real quick, how often do we have to always try and correct or say what former President Donald Trump is trying to say? How often do people that support him have to say, well, he really didn't mean it that way? Why he can't ever say what he really means?
Well, then we get Joe Biden saying, well, if you ain't black, you're not going to...
No. That ain't the answer. You just start saying Joe Biden. I asked you, why do we always have to correct or say what Donald Trump is trying to say?
Because he says ignorant.
All right, Corey, Eastside Corey, hold that thought because we got to take a break. We come back, we're going to get Eastside Corey's reaction to Telly's question in terms of why do we always have to defend or clarify former President Donald Trump's comments. You are listening to the best morning show. Eastside Corey, hang on, brother. We'll be back. Stay tuned. You're listening to the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth Be Told with DT&Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth has got you covered with front row access passes to the best concerts at Summerfest this year.
Tune in to all your favorite Truth shows every day so you do not miss your chance to win tickets and wristbands to see artists like SZA, Bryson Tiller, Lil Uzi Vert, En Vogue, K-Camp, and so many more.
Don't miss your chance to see these artists up close and personal during Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions.
The Bucks in 6 podcast presents a special series commemorating the Bucks championship run in 2021. From the thrilling Game 7 overtime victory against the Nets.
Durant shooting, got it at the buzzer. No, it's a 2-pointer.
To the 50-point statement made by Giannis in the finals.
A 50-point game. That's the stuff of legend.
Immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round with Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Carrie, where's Tori Lowe and Dr. Ken at? I'm trying to knock these commercials out.
How am I supposed to know, Sherwin?
Well, I'm about to do their parts because my impressions are on point anyway. This is Dr. Ken Harris from Truth in the Afternoon, and I want you to download the Truth app in the Google Play Store and Apple Store so you can never miss my show or any of the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Really, Kyle?
Sherwin, you are crazy.
Sherwin, your impression of me is horrible. Move. Give me my mic. I guess I'll just repeat what Sherwin said. Go to the Google Play Store or Apple Store to download the 1017 The Truth app today so you can take the home of Milwaukee Black Talk with you wherever you are.
Can't listen live? Download the new 1017 The Truth app on your smartphone today to catch up on all your favorite shows. Search 1017 The Truth on your Google Play Store or Apple App Store so you don't miss out on any of the action.
Research shows that high-quality teachers have the greatest impact on student success during the school day. By shaping their students, they are shaping the future. Yet while actors have Oscars, musicians have Grammys, and athletes have gold medals, exemplary educators who prepare every profession are just not recognized enough. The Milken Educator Awards set out to change that by surprising outstanding educators across the nation with $25,000 prizes and providing a platform to celebrate, elevate, and activate the profession.
Erica Stevens!
The awards were created by Lowell Milken of the national nonprofit Milken Family Foundation. The journey to surprising the 3,000th Milken Educator is in full swing. Who will be next?
Honey, they chose me.
Celebrate teachers, value teachers, thank teachers.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT&Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
When you say you love me,
I was about ready to do a freestyle. Good morning. You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. I was about to break one out, Telly. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth Be Told with DT&Telly. Good morning. Good morning. It is the first of the month, Monday, July 1st, 2024. The good news is that for you, it's a short week. Before break, we were talking about during Thursday's presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden. When asked about immigration, Trump responded, and I'm quoting here, that I'm sorry, I'm laughing because, again, over the weekend, it appeared as though the Democratic Party was thinking that this would be great to just emphasize and leverage as part of swaying any black voters who weren't convinced that they should vote for Biden. President Trump says, and I quote, "They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people." Former President Donald Trump said in the debate Thursday about the role immigrants play in the U.S. economy. Our Truth Talking text line is blowing up. We've got 3 callers. First, Eastside Corey, thank you for holding. You and Telly. We're talking about, why is it that we always got to correct Trump?
Yeah. Why is that? Well, I mean, you had a commercial break and everything, Eastside Corey, to come up with a good answer. Why do we always have to clarify what he trying to say?
Because there's people at a certain age come from a certain era and say stuff. They say racist stuff. They don't even realize they're saying it. And it's either us, we as from that same generation have to correct and say, hey, don't say it like that. Say it like this, or don't say it at all. Okay? Here's why. Okay. But it's a Karen situation. It's like this. It's an entitlement state of mind we're always competing with, or we're always trying to convince that we matter. We need to stop doing that and need to start doing for ourselves, because we're on our own. That's what came clear to me through this whole process. They don't a bit more care about black folks than either one of them. Okay, we got to come up with our own set of Wall Street. Okay, let's go back to when we were doing for ourselves and stop looking for these politicians to give us the things that we want or need. Because you know what? It's so much more than this presidency to be a great American or get America great again. I'm thinking about all the music that we have contributed over the last 2 centuries. Just if there was no jazz, if there was no hip hop, if there was no rock and roll, where would this country be? Just that
Thank
alone,
you so much,
okay?
Eastside Corey. We so appreciate you for calling and sharing your perspective. I agree with Eastside Corey. Al from Sherman Park, you are live with DT&Telly. What is your question or comment?
Hey, I was just going to piggyback off of Corey's comments. First of all, we as black people have to realize that politics is transactional. It's not about your emotions, about how the politician feels about you. And I understood exactly what he said about the black jobs. His black jobs, I wrote in the comments, it's the opposite of black unemployment. And what they've let across the border over the last 3 years probably will come to about 18 million people. But overall, that affects all labor, not just black, Hispanic. It also affects white labor, because the more laborers you have, the lower employers can get you for a price to work, okay? So you have to be cautious about that. But one thing I'm hoping that people will see about the Democrat Party is that they use black people for bait and switch. Now, they use black women, and they use Kamala to attract black women. But when they talk about the secession plan, about who will take over for Joe Biden, is Kamala mentioned? They mention everybody else but Kamala, and she's out there defending this man on the worst debate night of his life. And to me, that would be a slap in the face if I was Kamala. You know, I'm out here defending this man, but they don't even mention me in the secession plan. And you have to understand about the Democrat Party, they will use anybody. They will tell you that you are out there for civil rights for black and brown people, and by the time it gets done, it'll be a whole bunch of Hispanics and Asians, and the black people will be left behind. They'll usher them ahead of you and give them the resources in your community that you've been asking. That's what the people in Chicago are so angry about, that when the migrants came, the resources they were asking for, the housing, converting schools to housing, they gave it to the migrants. They gave them health care, and they gave them rent payments and expenses on those prepaid debit cards. They weren't giving black people that, but then they suddenly came up with this money, this COVID money. They found that they were able to funnel into that. The bait and switch for the black community should be an eye-opener to understand that politics is transactional. Find out what they're going to do for you before you vote their butts in office.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Al from Sherman Park. We have one more caller. Vincent, good morning. You are live with DT&Telly. What is your question or comment?
Good morning, DT&Telly. First of all, you have to look at black unemployment. It's at one of the lowest points in history in this country. So the fact is that when he talks about black jobs and Hispanic jobs being taken, the point is that these are Hispanic and Latino people who are coming here. So they're taking Hispanic jobs from Hispanics and Latinos. It makes no sense. The fact is that when you become a part of this Republican Party, you have to go into this rabbit hole. When Tim Scott in the debate said there's no more racism in America. When you had the Latina lady in Missouri that's running for Attorney General going off on Juneteenth Day and reparations and telling black folks they need to, if they don't like it, they need to get the you-know-what out of America. This is the kind of rabbit hole that African Americans and Latina and Hispanic people have to go down in order to be the part of this party. The fact is, Donald Trump couldn't explain anything that he did for black folks. And so when you look at the job situation for African American and Hispanics in this country, I think that tells the story. And black folks are not out there picking raspberries and strawberries. These are the types of jobs that these individuals are doing for us in America. The fact is that the produce in this country, you talking about it's being high now. The fact is it would be outrageous if we didn't have individuals that go out there and do these kind of things. And so no, they're not taking the jobs of black people. But the point is that Donald Trump cannot explain why black unemployment and Hispanic unemployment is as low as it is, and he has no plan for it, and that's my point.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Vincent. Wow, what do you think? What are your reactions, Telly, based on our callers? Because they obviously it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack, and the only thing I can think of, and I think each one did a great job of explaining what they took from those comments, and it wasn't just there are black jobs, because you can raise the question, well, what are white jobs? Like if he said, hey, we're going to make sure that we protect the white jobs, and we're going to protect, what are white jobs as opposed to black jobs? But I mean, if it's the way that our last three callers have taken it and just looked at it as, hey, we need to start doing for ourselves as opposed to always relying or even caring about what they think or how they feel about you. So good callers, good points, all valid points in my opinion.
I just don't understand why so there has been an attack on black Americans over the past 2 or 3 years. Once the DE&I phenomenon sizzled down, because remember, when the murder of George Floyd went viral, and I mean in terms of the entire world was watching, you had predominantly white companies or employers that were giving millions and millions of dollars to organizations like Black Lives Matter, and they were reallocating budgets on existing or activating DE&I initiatives, whether that was, okay, we're now going to place a C-suite level role specific to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And over the past 2 or 3 years, Telly, the headlines literally have read, DE&I will be removed. You can no longer teach black history in certain states. You can no longer have DE&I anything. States like Alabama, Texas, Florida. There is an attack on black people in this country, whether we want to say it or not. And the reality is that former President Donald Trump, by talking about black jobs, and Telly, when you said, well, what are white jobs? It doesn't matter. He's been who he is. We know who he is. We know what is happening in this country. Legislation has replaced white-only signs. They are literally making laws that, to me, are an attempt to remove our wealth, our health, our success. You've got cities where, like, Milwaukee is the largest city in the state of Wisconsin, and we have all black leaders. in terms of mayor, Milwaukee County executive, sheriff, etc., and you still have black people struggling financially. And that is because at both the state and federal level, the government is literally letting us know, y'all got too much. Y'all doing the most. So when we come back from break, we're going to continue this conversation. You're listening to the Best Morning Show. We want to hear your thoughts and reactions. 833-212-1017. We will be back.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT&Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's that time of the year, Truth Nation, for our Truth Walk Against Violence. Violence is a problem which impacts all of us, but together we can make a difference. This is why I need you to join me and the Truth Team on Saturday, July 20th from 9 to noon for our second annual Walk Against Violence. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community and encourage a safer Milwaukee for us all. Join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 20th. Visit 1017thetruth.com and sign up today. Together, we can bring an end to violence.
Enough is enough.
You know one thing about Biden?
Here you go again.
When he makes a promise, he keeps it.
Okay, like what?
He got us out of the pandemic, got the country back on its feet.
Okay, sure.
And when all that recovery money was getting spent, Biden made sure that black businesses and communities got our fair share.
So, man?
That's a promise made and a promise kept.
Okay, but what else?
New roads, new bridges, high-speed internet, even out in the country where your brother lives.
Yeah.
Lower health insurance rates. Didn't your premiums go down?
Uh-huh.
That's another Biden promise kept.
Looks like it.
My mom's medication costs less. Your cousin's insulin is now only $35.
Okay, but what about jobs, building wealth?
Under Biden, the number of new black small businesses is booming, and black unemployment hit a record low. See? That's another...
Okay, I get it. Promise made, promise kept. I can see that now.
Told you. Biden and Harris are getting the job done for us.
I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
Eagle Sports Range has an unbeatable offer on concealed carry license classes. For just $49, enroll in their 3-hour class led by expert instructors prioritizing safety. Learn laws, techniques, and mindset for responsible carrying. Stick around for an optional hour of range time with instructors included in the package. Practice under professional guidance and gain confidence. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day at 2525 East Layton Avenue in Cudahy. Secure your spot at eaglesportsrange.com. Eagle Sports Range, where safety meets skill.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT&Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee. This is the last week of Summerfest, so be sure to come and enjoy the world's largest music festival this Thursday through Saturday. Many of music's top artists and Milwaukee's very own will be performing at Summerfest this year. Check out 101.7 The Truth's very own DJ Brother Z and Wave Chappelle shut down Summerfest for the 4th of July. Check out 414 Big Frank and JP as they set the stage on fire for none other than Little Uzi Vert. And don't forget, they have someone for all the lovers, Bryson Tiller, Maroon 5, and more. So don't miss out on all the fun at Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Get your tickets now at summerfest.com. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance, and thank you to our Summerfest food provider, Major Goolsby's.
And Truth Nation, here's your chance to win some money to get down to Summerfest. That's right, our one call, that's all 5K Gruber 5K giveaway this is your chance to enter today. That's right, $5,000. Be caller number 7 right now at 833-212-1017, and you will be entered in to win the $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, that is caller number 7 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
If you're just tuning in, good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told with DT&Telly. Again, you do not want to miss any episodes. And if you happen to miss a live episode, guess what? We got you taken care of. Just subscribe right now to our YouTube channel, 101.7 The Truth. You can also download the Truth app. Go to your smartphone, go to your app store, and download the Truth right now. And also, as Telly had mentioned, we give away so many things. So you'll also get those push notifications to keep you posted when it's time to win some fabulous prizes or some fabulous money. Now, before break, we were talking about Thursday's presidential debate. There was many reactions. Overall, the highest focus was President Biden pretty much failing. Now, there was also a question during the debate on Thursday in Atlanta between former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden, where they were asked about immigration laws, reform, etc. And as a result of former President Donald Trump's response, including black jobs, a number of black people have been questioning what Donald Trump meant by black jobs during the debate. Telly, he said what he said. And going back to Eastside Corey's point, you know, based on his conditioning, based on his background, based on his association with black people, are we really surprised that he said that? And the fact that it's not about whether or not it was right or wrong. This man is running for re-election. And I believe that the Democratic Party using his black jobs and Hispanic jobs comment as a strategy to sway black voters, I think it's a waste of time. Because Trump has been who he is from day one. He's been consistent in terms of comments where from both a gender, sexual orientation, religion, and race, pretty much any aspect of diversity, former President Donald Trump has made comments where a lot of folks were like, what? He said what he said. He is who he is.
Yeah. No shock value whatsoever, in my opinion. Like I said, it didn't even register on the radar. He has said and done far worse than saying that, hey, we have these, 20 million, migrants that are coming in and taking the black jobs and Hispanic jobs. And so to me, it was just another one of the, another drop in the flood of lies that he was spewing out on last Thursday.
Well, look, I'm black and I'm a woman and I live in America. And I know, and I've said this several times, due to the elimination of DE&I programs and initiatives all over this country, including in this city of Milwaukee, the policies and procedures and efforts that a number of conservatives are making in this country are impacting black people across education, affordable housing, and health care. And as a black person, I'm really about who's on my city council. Who's who's a state legislator? Who are the representatives that actually write the bills and write legislation? Because it is clear that based on what has happened over the past 2 years, there are I won't even say attempts. There are actions, legislation, and further plans in upcoming years to eliminate funds, programs, and initiatives that are targeted towards helping black people in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Department of Education. They're like, no, MPS, have a seat.
Yeah. And City Boy 826 on our YouTube message board said, as soon as the city of Milwaukee got that tax money, black politicians voted themselves a raise. Where is the raise for Milwaukee residents? Why is the mayor needing $160,000 a year or aldermen's making $84,000 a year?
And see, these are the kind of questions, Telly, that we should be asking. Whether the answer is for us or against us, we need to be focusing on local, state legislators, policymakers, because the writing is on the wall. Over the past 2 or 3 years, both the state legislation of Wisconsin, including the city of Milwaukee elected officials, whether they had to do it or not, if this is the right thing, and it's a direct attack on black people.
Yes.
And so when former President Donald Trump says black jobs, and you're like, oh, did you hear?
What does he mean?
What is he? Explain yourself. First of all, he's not going to explain himself to nobody. Let's get that clear. He didn't even want to get off the stage and shake the moderator's hand after the debate was finished. He grabbed his coat and was like, now what? He's not going to explain anything. He hasn't had to, and he's got enough. The man raised almost $40 million on GoFundMe during his trial.
And,
are you kidding me?
We're not even going to talk about the money that has been raised by Republicans and other supporters, where he's not even has to pay anything for his upcoming trial in Florida. That's already taken care of. His lawyer fees.
What does that tell you?
Is already taken care of.
What does that tell you, Telly? when you read headlines that are saying we are removing any reference to slavery or black history as part of U.S. history, we are eliminating, we are obsoleting DE&I. When you see these types of legislation, laws saying that is no longer part of democracy in this country, you focusing on what Donald Trump said during the debate, knowing who he is?
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Right.
We got to do better than that.
That ain't happening. Yeah, that ain't happening.
It's not. And so for me, it was Tuesday. Yeah. Look, it was a Tuesday when he said it. I was not shocked. Mm-hmm. I still am. I'm voting. I'm voting, but again, still considering. And with that being said, I want to really get more involved with the state and local legislators because, again, President Trump and President Biden, former President Trump, they're going to continue to talk about each other, including golf, handicap. Are you for real right now? Telling they were talking about the golf handicap. They're going to continue to do that. And we as black people in this country, we're going to have to make some serious decisions in terms of, how we operate as a race as well as individuals. That's just how I feel.
Yeah. That's pretty much we have to realize what's important to us. And I mean, what they're talking about definitely doesn't have anything to do with the progression of our community and this country moving forward.
Speaking of moving forward, now this man has been deceased since 2009. Michael Jackson is in headlines once again. At the time of his death, again, back in 2009, it has been reported, based on recent court records, that the king of pop, Michael Jackson, is in some serious debt, which is impacting the beneficiaries of his estate, which also include his 3 children and his mother, Katherine Jackson. We come back from break. We're going to get more into Michael Jackson's current court records revealing that he is in some serious debt, what the family is saying. And for me, it's like, he's gone. Can we let this man rest in peace? So we come back. More headlines regarding Michael Jackson, as well as AI software, artificial intelligence software, has been amended based on wrongful arrest including a number of black men in this country. That and other hot topics to come. Stay tuned. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told, with DT&Telly on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT&Telly will be right back on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 101.7 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
How many times have we been told perception is reality? Look, I'm not here to dispute that, but as true as that statement is, it couldn't be further from the truth when it comes to social media. The way we perceive something or somebody on social media is typically nowhere near how things are in their real lives. Unfortunately, identifying the difference between people's online life versus their real lives gets compromised because people want it to be real, and that's okay. What's not okay is people trying to live up to these fictitious lives that's being presented and getting thousands of likes. You often see posts of people on vacation with the caption, "Living my best life," or "So-and-so doesn't owe me anything." Again, nothing wrong with that, but I wish people would view social media like they do SportsCenter. On those type of sports shows, they only show the highlights of the game. Highlights. On social media, you're only seeing the highlights of people's lives because you probably won't get many likes on a post that shows you stressing over having more bills than money and trying to figure it out. The point is, don't get caught up trying to live up to something that isn't even real. Influencers are going to influence, and some have made a hefty living doing so. But happiness isn't a one-size-fit-all contraption. Create your own happiness. Plan out how you're going to obtain it, and then protect it the same way you would guard your most prized possession.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth Be Told with DT&Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Westbound 94, we've got an accident right at Calhoun that is blocking the right lane. So watch out for that. We got backups pretty much stretching all the way back to Highway 100. On the eastbound side of 94, we're seeing backups just before 68th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Southbound 43 backed up from before Hampton Avenue down past Keefe. Northbound is a little bit backed up as well from just before North Avenue to about Keefe as well. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny skies, high afternoon clouds with a high of 71. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 62. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT&Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, you definitely want to keep it locked right here on 101.7 The Truth, because we are giving away some top-notch prizes. This is the last weekend to experience the big party on the lake. And guess what? The award-winning 101.7 The Truth has the hookup. Now is your chance to win a pair of wristbands to see Bryson Tiller live at Summerfest. Call now at 833-212-1017 and be caller number, and we'll make it easy this time. We'll make it caller number 3. Lucky number 3 right now. Call in 833-212-1017 to win these wristbands.
Well, in recent headlines, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, who died in 2009, has reportedly left over $500 million in debt. So at the time of his death, the star's assets were subject to more than $500 million of debt and creditors' claim, according to recent court records. According to NBC News, Michael Jackson was preparing for a tour when he died at his Los Angeles mansion, and the diagnosis of his death was acute propofol, and Telly, you got to help me out, propofol intoxication. Now, the executors of his estate, propofol, I was going to say, look, Evansville, Indiana Public School, I'll be telling y'all, help me out. Now, at the time of Michael Jackson's death, again, this is according to a report from NBC News, Michael Jackson's most significant assets were subject to more than $500 billion of debt and creditors' claims, with some of the debt accruing. And see, this is where I think, Telly, this is where it's the reason why it's so high is because the debt accruing interest at extremely high interest rates, and some debt is in default based on the paperwork filed. So right before his death, Michael Jackson was about to, and do you remember this, Telly, when he announced he was going to go on tour? This is it. He was going to do 51 performances in London at the O2 Arena. Remember that? Because, look, I'm going to tell you right now, in 2009, I ain't have no money. None. But I was going to try to figure out which of my financial sponsors, I'm just playing, how was I going to get to London in July of 2009? What? Were you there? I'm like, now how can I get to London with good looks and no a positive attitude, great personality, and no money? But in all seriousness, in the March 2024 filing by the executors for the estate, which is John Branca and Executive John McClain, and their attorneys, Jonathan Stein-Sapir and Saul Ewing, stated that the estate was heavily in debt and on the verge of bankruptcy when the entertainer died. Now the estate is valued at over $2 billion. Now, where it gets problematic, Telly, is that Michael Jackson's mother, Katherine Jackson, and his 3 children, Paris, Prince, and Bijie, cannot receive any of their trust fund money until the estate resolves this ongoing dispute with the IRS. Now, the estate filed on Tuesday, May 28th, clarified that while the beneficiaries can't receive the funds, it does not impact the money they will have allocated as part of this mess. It's according to the news, Katherine Jackson has received $55 million to date in allowances. They didn't reveal what the kids received, but in terms of trust fund, because think about it, Telly, if Michael Jackson was your dad, do you really think them kids was prepared to go back into the workforce? Like, Michael Jackson's my dad. Y'all hiring? Like, for real?
Wait a minute. How much has Katherine Jackson received so far?
Look at Telly. He's like, wait a minute, rewind that back. Katherine is a life beneficiary of Michael Jackson's estate. And although the trust fund for the children is at risk, Jackson's mother and children still receive an allowance through the singer's estate. Katherine, mother Michael Jackson, has received over $55 million since the singer's 2009 passing.
Wow. Okay. Because to me, it just seems like there's a lot of conflicting information, because on one end, you're hearing about this debt, but on the other end, you heard about him purchasing the Beatles master catalog, and that is supposed to be worth, close up to billions of dollars. So, I mean, which one is it? And
well,
what? like, where's this money sitting at? Why can't this be resolved, I guess, is my question.
Well, based on the reports, so the estate is in a dispute with the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. So regardless of what he owned or what his liquid assets, as well as, any type of investments, such as, owning the master's catalog of the Beatles, if you didn't pay your taxes.
Oh, yeah. I ain't care who you were.
I'm just like, if you didn't pay your taxes, and look, dun, 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 dun. And to your point, Telly, the IRS doesn't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you bought the Beatles Masters? That was what worth? So that means you have about, let's see, and I'm just guessing.
And
we could fact check. But and see, that's what often happens. I remember when Red Fox passed away, Sammy Davis Jr. passed away. All these people were coming out of the woodworks saying that, that both Red Fox and Sammy Davis Jr. left their families in major debt because of the tax issue.
Yeah. Wow.
And here we are again.
But back then, the things that they used to do to try and avoid taxes and the money under the table and just as Ryan Osley, just as Wesley Snipes, these are people that
ask a lot of major athletes, professional athletes.
Yeah, you can go to jail for not doing that. So, I really hope that this isn't something that continues to go on for years and years and years, and those, his kids aren't able to get what he wanted and intended them to have. And, because of a lot of other legal jargon. But, the IRS does not care who you are.
If I was one of Michael Jackson's kids, first of all, worst case scenario, Auntie Janet, hello. My last name is Jackson.
I'm Blanket. You don't remember Blanket?
I got a whole look. I got 8 uncles and aunts that are Jackson.
All of them ain't doing, but all of them ain't doing probably ain't doing that great.
Okay, all right, Telly. Well, I tell you what, I've never seen any of the Jackson family. Maybe LaToya, but I was going to say I ain't never seen any of them talking about they broke. Man, I'm out here broke. Maybe LaToya.
No Jackson GoFundMe's.
Think about it. Like if you're my brother and you're Michael Jackson, brother, uncle, cousin, whatever, I'm good.
You should be taken care of. That's my thing. It's been 15 years and you've received $55 million. Yes, I'm sure you've been straight. You ain't had to go and sit down there at the unemployment line or anything. But if you only get 55 of what you believe is much, much more, then you're going to be like, hey, let me make sure that this gets taken care of. And I'm sure it's a burden on them. It's probably something they think about every single day, just trying to get this resolved because, again, 15 years later, this man still can't really rest in peace.
Man. Still can't rest in peace. Although, Telly, I'm going to push back on the last comment about, if you only get $55 million, I can't associate the word only.
They put only.
55. I'm like, what? Only.
Good catch.
Give me 1% of that, and I'm good.
Yeah, 55 million. Yes, 55 million. That's something. Yeah, that ain't no only either. So yes.
Well, the bottom line is the seriousness of this is the fact that you are Michael Jackson. And if anything, not just your immediate children, but your kids should be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Like the legacy of Michael Jackson kids. Here's what I hope does not happen is that, 20, 30 years from now, when his 3 children are thinking about, are already having their families and they're, you can't walk anywhere in this world and not hear or see a Michael Jackson record. Period. Right. He's still 15 years later. He's played, adored, admired everywhere, despite some of the controversy. So it would be so incredibly hurtful to, be Michael Jackson's granddaughter or grandson, great-great-granddaughter, great-great-grandson, and have nothing. Have absolutely nothing. That, to me, I just pray that does not happen because of the contributions that the Jacksons as a family made to pop culture, made to society. Their kids, definitely their kids should not be out here broke.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, to me, it's still kind of amazing that there hasn't been any, to my attention and my knowledge, things that commemorate the contributions he made to society. Like, there should be a Jackson Museum, or just their careers. They're documented in different places. I've been to the Motown Museum, and there's a lot of Jackson stuff there. But again, these are the things and the contributions that they made that are still very prevalent to this day. To me, it's just, you don't think that an icon of his stature would ever have to deal with these things that, us more common folk got to deal with.
I'm definitely common folk when it comes to only $55 million. On our YouTube message board, City Boy asks, isn't Janet a billionaire? I don't know what kind, but I know she's an heir. She's definitely an heir. I don't know if it's 100 millionaire or a billionaire, but she ain't hurting. She's on tour right now. Right?
Yeah,
What'd you say, Tellez? She's not 1,000.
She's not 1,000-aire.
Woo, man. But yes, Creation Muse on our YouTube message board says, usually when a celebrity dies, their value increases tremendously, especially in the case of Michael Jackson. If he was broke, it's because they devalued the mess out of his assets. And I'll even add to that and say, okay, listen, you just said it, Telly. You got a black man who owned masters of the Beatles, the biggest selling pop or rock group. You ain't supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
It's like Dr. Umar Johnson. And there are a lot of things that he says that I agree with, and there are some things that he says that I don't agree with. But one of the things that I definitely agree with, that he was like, look at all the black men in this country who were in the financial position to make some major moves. Bill Cosby, NBC. Michael Jackson, the Beatles. Even, Sean Puffy Combs, who became a billionaire and was a huge business owner. But then when you got messy and started talking too much and suing companies for racial discrimination, boom. And so it's a shame that they are still, to your point, making Michael Jackson's life, as he is resting in peace, a living HE double hockey stick. Good morning, Al. You are live with DT&Telly. What is your question or comment?
Well, my question and comment is, if black people really, really want respect from the Republican Party and people like Trump, and once you do this, you won't need their resources, you won't need nothing from them. Treat them like they're a Negro. Because now everybody is on the same level, and now everybody put their pants on one leg at a time, which means you won't be putting them on no higher level. Treat them like they black. And we all know they don't want to be categorized that. You got to treat them like one, or treat them like one that's less than one, because we've been giving them too many acolytes. Well, I don't give them acolytes, but that's what you got to treat them like if you really want respect. And if you feel you can't do that, then that's on you. But you got to treat them like they're a Negro, for one that's less than. And we all know how we see each other, and we all know how we treat each other. Treat them the same way, and you'll get the respect you want. Have a great morning.
Thank you, Al. Thank you for sharing your perspective as always. Telly, and I know before talking about Michael Jackson, the most recent headlines in the Michael Jackson estate, we were talking about the reactions to former President Donald Trump's reference to black jobs and Hispanic jobs during Thursday's presidential debate. And again, I think if we were to recap the general statement from our valued listeners, is that we got to really go back to, where are we operating? How are we operating as a community? Because no other communities are vocal about explain yourself, Donald Trump, or what did you mean by other communities are focusing on how to keep the dollar in their community. And he said what he said.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because the average dollar.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the average dollar in the black community stays in our community 1.5 to 2 days, where other communities, it could go as far as 30 days that money does not leave that community.
Yeah. And again, we just have to do better and stop just relying on and caring about what other people think or waiting for them to better your situation, because they don't wake up thinking about bettering your situation. So you need to figure it out yourself.
I just don't understand why we put so much time and energy into reacting shocked or confused when, again, former President Donald Trump has shown who he is from day one. Yeah. And when you look at the legislative actions that have taken place across states in this country, including Wisconsin, specific to DE&I, and you're worried about what President Trump said? Yeah. I mean, this is a major election, but it also, we got to get more acclimated and involved with our local and state government. Like, how come nobody asked, the speaker of, was it Robin Voss? How come nobody asked him to explain himself? When he forced the UW Board of Regents to take the low-hanging fruit and eliminate D&I. How come nobody asked him to explain? You choose your battles, but former President Donald Trump, he is in no position to explain himself. He doesn't have to.
And if you're a Wisconsinite, you should be more interested in what Robin Voss has to say versus what Donald Trump is saying, because we already know what Donald Trump is about, what he's going to do, what he's planning to do. We've seen the movie before. We've seen the first version. So he's
got a greatest hits album. Right.
Yeah, he about to have a remix.
He got a greatest hits album of all the racist things I've said to people in America.
Remix, baby.
Man. Yeah.
So we know what is about to happen. So again, if you're focused on Donald Trump saying, black jobs are being taken, and you're not caring about Robin Voss having a special meeting on a Saturday to make sure that he had enough or force people enough to accept a deal that eliminates DEI. So,
look, Telly, I know we got to go. Our incredible producer, DJ Ricky, is telling us that we got to take a break. But I will say this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save it for my truth of the matter, but I'll give a preview. Black jobs, Hispanic jobs, white jobs, however you receive that message. For me, the focus should be on how come we have all these black people in black jobs working, but the likelihood of us being promoted and put into highly visible leadership positions without being demoted or fired within the 2 years that we took the job, that's where we should really be focusing. Black leadership. Critical black leadership. You are listening again to the best morning show on planet Earth. We come back, Telly and I will give you our truth of the matter and get you ready for 9 more hours of live consecutive Milwaukee Black Talk Radio. Stay tuned.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT&Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas from Truth Be Told with DT&Telly, and I am so excited for you to tune in to our monthly interview with Old National Bank. Old National Bank will be joining us to discuss why they are so committed to supporting women and people of color-owned businesses, while also discussing their empowerment loan program, which can provide your business access to funds up to $5 million. So don't miss our Truth Be Told monthly interview with Old National Bank at 8 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 101.7 The Truth.
So we do have a drug take-back box at Outreach Community Health Centers. So if people have medications at their home that they want to get rid of, they could bring it to our pharmacy and we'll dispose of it for them. Anything that's not being used, anything that's kind of out of date, even antibiotics, any other medications, definitely it's better to safely dispose of it, and definitely don't flush it down the toilet because that puts it back into our drinking water supply. So
why is that a bad thing, Annie? Why do we not want to flush our medication?
Yeah, so it contaminates our drinking water. It contaminates our waterways, so our rivers and lakes don't benefit from all of those medications entering into the water supply. And we don't also enter. We have great drinking water in the city of Milwaukee, but they can only filter out so many of the pharmaceuticals. So as much as we can to reduce the pharmaceutical supply in our drinking water, we'll all be better off.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
This is State Representative Lakeisha Myers letting you know there's a special election on July 2nd for the 4th Senate District. Having served for the past 6 years, I'm prepared to take office on day one to continue fighting for our community. Whether advocating for quality health care, better educational outcomes for children, or holding reckless drivers accountable, I'm ready to go to work. So Milwaukee, Shorewood, Glendale, Brown Deer, and Wauwatosa, I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, July 2nd. Let's go to work.
Paid for by friends of Lakeisha Myers, Gertha Myers Treasurer.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. You can count on the Brewers to host an event your crew won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT&Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. And again, make sure that you download the Truth app as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never ever miss a show, you never miss notifications, and you are connected to 11 hours of live Black Talk Radio. Look, my truth of the matter is simply this. Democracy is supposed to be on the ballot and at the focal point when we vote. And for Black Americans, as we are measuring both presidential candidates regarding economic justice, health access, educational equity, all of these things are on the line. And the writing is on the wall that these areas, especially as it relates to Black people, Black Americans, are going to be eliminated. So it's time for us to not get caught up in who said what and how it was said. We got to look at the policies and the procedures that are real, that are impacting Black people in this country, not what somebody said. So I hope that, again, as we are getting closer to November 5th, we really focus on what's happening in the background, what's happening in the pipeline as part of the agenda and the attack on Black Americans. And is democracy truly on the ballot for 2024?
The truth of the matter, DT. My truth of the matter, I'll keep it short and brief. Again, I want to just shout out the greatest fraternity in the land, that is Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, because you can pay attention to what is going on in the media, but people are still out here putting in work. Nearly 30,000 brothers down here in Tampa, Florida, making an impact in our community. So continue to put in the work. Don't get caught up in thinking about Donald Donald Trump talking about black jobs, because as we've heard from several callers throughout our show, it's time to create our own. It's time to put in our own work and not wait for others to do for you for things that you could do for yourself. So we are out here continuing to put in the work and don't get caught up in distractions.
There it is. Great truth of the matter, Telly. Thank you so much again for tuning in. We're going to hear and see y'all, Lord willing, tomorrow. Up next, Sherwin Hughes. Make it a great day. Tell somebody you love them. I love you.
Peace out.
.1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000